Hello, my dear curious and studious students of surgery. Myself, Dr. Mahesh Chaudhary. I am warm welcoming you in my surgery lecture series. This surgery lecture series contains entire surgery with anesthesia, with radiology, with orthopedic. So stay tuned with us. Let's start our surgery lecture series. Welcome, my dear students, in my surgery lecture number 86, that is the gas gangrene. In this lecture, we will cover the etiology and predisposing factor of gas gangrene, pathology of the gas gangrene, various types of the gas gangrene, then clinical features and the treatment of the gas gangrene. Now, start with me, the gas gangrene. This is a rapid spreading infective gangrene of the muscle characterized by the collection of gas in the muscles and subcutaneous tissue. As this condition is caused by the Clostridium infection, it is also called Clostridial myonecrosis. Now, the etiology and predisposing factors are basically gas gangrene is most likely to develop in wounds where there has been extensive laceration of devitalization of the muscles mass with gross contamination of the wound by soil and other foreign bodies. So, two factors should play simultaneously. First is the entry of the Clostridial organism, particularly Clostridium refrigens or Clostridium welchi. And second is the condition within the wound should be such that these organisms produce toxins and are able to multiply to cause the gas gangrene. These organisms usually multiply in anaerobic condition. Now, dear students, here is the image you are watching. There is a typical image of the gas gangrene. The pockets of the gas is seen in the infections of the thigh. This is the another image of the gas gangrene and the gas pocket seen in the X-ray. This is the multiple cases after the debridement, the picture of the gas gangrenes. Now, the predisposing factors for producing gas gangrene are hemorrhage and blood clot help infection especially by supplying calcium. Contamination with soil supplies silica and calcium to the wounds as clostridial organisms are present in the human and animal fecal flora. Contamination with manure soil provide enough clostridial organisms to produce gas gangrene. Second is the contamination of the crush injuries of the tissues are essential as the organism cannot multiply in healthy living tissues. Dirty splinters or fragments if contaminate the wound, the chance of forming gas gangrene increases. Third is the along with the gas gangrene bacilli, other organisms should also gain entry, that is the staphylococci, streptococci and proteus group. Presence of the aerobic bacilli in the wound utilize the oxygen in the tissues and create an atmosphere for growth of the anaerobes. And the next predisposing factor is the circulatory obstruction caused by the occlusion or damage of the artery or pressure on the blood vessels by tourniquet or tight bandage are contributory factors. Next is the inadequate drainage and exudation in the muscle fibers help the spread of the infection. And the next is predisposing factor are diabetes and other occlusive arterial diseases also predispose this condition. Now, the bacteriology, gas gangrene is mainly caused by the anaerobic clostridial organism of which Clostridium perfringens, that is the Clostridium welchi, is the main organism. Other Clostridium organisms are also found, that is the Clostridium edematians and the Clostridium septicum, Clostridium histolyticum and Clostridium biformentas. These organisms are found in the stool and therefore buttock, perineum and thigh wound are more often complicated by the gas gangrene. These organisms also present occasionally as the normal flora in the vagina. These organisms, particularly Clostridium welchi, are as follows. First is the alpha toxin lecithin, is a hemolytic and also lecithinase which splits the lecithin to phosphocholine and diglyceride. Second is the collagenase is the proteinase and break down collagens, the connective tissue elements of the muscles. Hyaluronase breaks down the hyaluronic acid and the substance mainly responsible cementing of the muscle cells and forming the barrier against the infection. Next is the theta toxin, is hemolytic, lethal and necrotic, tough. It is weaker than the lecithinase. Leucocidin kills the leukocytosis. These are the various exotoxins produced by these organisms, particularly the Clostridium welchi. Now, the pathology, Clostridium invasions affects the whole of the involved muscles from origin to insertion, producing a false smelling necrosis of the muscles which becomes from dull red to the green and ultimately black in appearance. The earliest pathology change is a rapidly spreading edema of the subcutaneous tissue and muscles with accumulation of gas. The muscle gradually loses its striation and nuclei and passes through various stages of the degeneration. It loses contractility and its normal healthy color with crepitations due to the presence of the gas bubbles in the wound. Gas bubbles spread along the long axis of the muscle sheath. Ultimately, the muscles become soft, friable, green to black in color due to the action of the sulfurated hydrogen on iron liberated from the broken down muscles hemoglobin. The gas is chiefly hydrogen and odorless in the beginning, but soon it becomes floated due to the production of the sulfurated hydrogen, that is the H2S, ammonia and volatile gases by the action of the proteolytic group of organism. Now, the various types of the gas gangrenes are according to the spread along the muscles and the extent of the involvement of the various types of the gas gangrene are Clostridium cellulitis. This is the crepitant infection involving necrotic tissue, but healthy muscle is not involved. Cellulitis is characterized by false-smelling, seropurulent infections of a wound. These may be local extension along with the facial planes. Clostridium cellulitis has a gradual onset with incubation period of the 3 to 5 days. Now, second is the single muscle type. The infection is limited to one muscles only. And the second next is the group type. The gas gangrene is limited to one group of muscle, that is the extensors of the thigh or adductors of the thigh or glutei, etc. Next is the massive type. The gas gangrene involves almost the whole muscles mass of one limb. And next is the fulminating type. In this condition, gas gangrene spreads very rapidly even beyond the limb and is often associated with the intense toxemia with high fatal rate. Now the clinical features. First is the general. The patient looks anxious and anemic. There may be the rise of the temperature which never becomes hectic. On the contrary, in severe cases the temperature may be subnormal. The pulse is rapid. There is a fall of blood pressure due to the liberation of the toxins in the blood which suppresses the suprarenal glands. And now the local clinical features are, in the beginning, patient complains of the patient in the affected limb. There is a gradual swellings of gross edema of the infected part, so much so that the stitches may give way. The most characteristic feature is a profuse discharge of brownish and foul-smelling fluid between the stitches. Crepitus is always present due to the presence of gas in the muscles and subcutaneous tissue. It is often palpable and sometimes audible with the stethoscope. Now the investigations. First is the direct microscopic examination. A few smears are prepared from the exudate and the strains of the Gram methods. Staphylococcus and streptococci will be seen. The causal organisms will be shown as a thick rectangular bacillus suggesting one of the organisms is the Clostridium welchii, Clostridium bifurcans, etc. Spores are not usually seen in the case of the Clostridium welchii. Now the cultures. Special cultures should be made for the growth of the anaerobic organism. Exudate is directly applied and anaerobic organisms show their growth in anaerobic cultures. Now the third is the X-ray shows gas shadows within the muscles and in the subcutaneous tissues. Now treatment. First is the prophylaxis. Then treatment of the established cases. In the prophylaxis, the student must understand that follow the principles of how to prevent the formation of gas gangrene. As this condition carries the considerable mortality rate, prophylaxis should be followed very rigidly. First, wound excision or debridement. All contaminated wounds should be thoroughly debrided. The margins of the wound should be excised. All devitalized tissues and blood clots should be removed. All dead and damaged muscles should be removed. All foreign bodies, including completely detached pieces of the bone, should be removed. Second is the administration of the high dose of the penicillin, about 2 grams 4 hourly, is always necessary whenever a patient is admitted with a badly lacerated wounds. This is probably one of the few indications of the prophylactic antibiotic therapy. And third is the while performing wound excision, tourniquet should be avoided. Similarly, if the plasters are applied in case of the compound fractures. Fourth is whenever the wound is in lesion, it is better to leave open than to apply primary stitches under tension. And the fifth is the passive immunization by the intramuscular injections of the anti-gas gangrene sim, that is the AGS of polyvalent antitoxin of 22,500 international unit containing 9,000 international unit Clostridium welchii, 4,500 international unit Clostridium septicum and 9,000 international unit Clostridium edimatians. This polyvalent serum is administered every 4 to 6 hours if the disease becomes established. And the sixth is the active immunization has not been so popular in case of the gas gangrene. Now the second line of treatment is the treatment of an established cases. Early and adequate surgery is the most effective means of treating gas gangrene. Due to rapid spread of infection, a 24 hours delay in the treatment may prove fatal. First is the surgery. As soon as the diagnosis is established, multiple longitudinal incisions for the decompression and drainage are urgently required. Aggressive surgical debridement in the form of excision of all devitalized tissues should be carried out. In case of the single muscle type, the affected muscle is completely excised. In the case of the group type, all the affected portions of the muscles should be removed till the healthy muscles are reached, which is identified by their color, contractility and bleeding capability. Next point is in case of the massive type of gas gangrene, or if early diagnosis was not made, then amputation is only answer. Now the principles of the amputations are: the tourniquet should be always be avoided to minimize the further circulatory damage to the living muscles, and the same time bleeding from the muscles can be seen to judge the viability of the various muscles. Second principle is it should be guillotine type without closure of the stump for better drainage. Third principle is the amputation should be through a safe level well proximal to the affected muscles. That means in case of the affection of the calf muscles, mid-thigh amputation should be performed. Now second is the supportive treatment. First is the surgery in the treatment of the established cases, and second is the supportive treatment in the established cases. Higher dosage of the penicillin should be administered, that is the 10 lakh units every 4 hours immediately as soon as the diagnosis is confirmed. This should be supplemented by the tetracycline 2 gram daily, or chloramphenicol 2 gram daily, or streptomycin 1 to 2 gram daily. Later on, the doses are reduced according to the virulence of the gas gangrene. Second point is the blood transfusion should be started before the operation is contemplated. This is a combat shock and anemia. Further crystallized and colloid solutions may be administered intravenously. Anti-gas gangrene serum, which has been decided as a prophylactic treatment, should be administered in the established cases with the same dose repeated every 4 to 6 hours for 3 times. So 3 ampoules of polyvalent antitoxins will be required. Dear students, here is the end of our surgery lecture number 86, that is the gas gangrene. Thank you.